What's up, everybody? It's your boy Legit. We have another video. This time I'm going to be covering the camp. This is going to be a beginner's guide to the camp. I'm going to cover the user interface within the camp. I'm going to cover some tips and tricks, how to level up your workers. We're going to cover the workers, cover some contribution, and some tips and tricks on how to make some silver within the camp. Thank you guys for tuning in. If this is your first time to my channel, check out the description down below for some additional badass Black Desert mobile content. You won't be disappointed. With that being said, let's dive right in. So the camp is what the camp does for your game within Black Desert Mobile is the camp affects every character in your family. All of them can come to the same camp and do everything within the camp. The camp, to start off, when you first start off your camp, your town hall is tier 1. You really want to focus on, the first tip I have for you is to focus on getting your town hall to tier 5. Around tier 4 and the level 40, I believe it is, you unlock node mode. You can do node mode right away. I don't, however. I wait till I get my town hall max to tier 5. I get most of my stuff built up. That way I can then focus on grinding the material, and then I can switch and put some workers into node mode for node war, or not node war, but for node mode to help collect some stuff over there. All right, so focus on leveling up your town hall. If you ever get stuck, you can always click on your town hall, click on that upgrade button, and it'll tell you what you want to focus on to level up. So let's talk about the interface, the 4 or 5 buttons at the bottom down there. The first one is the gather option. This is where you can go and gather. There's 2 different things I want you to focus on here. The first one is mining, logging, fishing, and foraging. So those 4 options. And the second one is world gathering. World gathering you can actually click on and you can farm all of the resources. As you level up your life skills, to see your life skills, you actually click the overview tab, go to my info, and at the bottom you see life skills, bottom right. You can see the level of your life skills. You need to have your life skills to skilled level 5 in order to be able to collect for at least 16 hours while gathering on world gathering mode. World gathering mode is great for when you want to farm for a long time and not have to worry about the workers, and if you're going to sleep or something like that. So you do need to have that to skilled 5 in order to unlock the 16-hour option. I do want to make point that you do get the option to farm all these different spots. As you level up your character, you do unlock the new locations to farm them. So whether it's 2, 4, 8, or 16, if you don't get them right away, it's the same for mining and foraging within there. All right, to build, the second option down at the bottom is to build. I have all of my stuff built, but this is where you would go to build. You can click the little magnifying glass to get a little bit of idea what that building is going to do for your arsenal within your camp. The third option is camp content. You can click on that, and it's an easier way to get everything within your camp. So there's 2 ways to get to everything within your camp. Let's say you wanted to collect your black stones. I know where my black stones are at just because I placed everything in my town how I would know it. So then I know my black stones are up there, right? Let's say you start off your account and you're just placing the buildings wherever the game tells you to place them. I get it. I did that initially too. You can then go to this option and you can get to whatever you want. So if you want to get to the black stones, it'll take you right there. If you want to go to your ancient ruins, it'll take you right there. So that's the camp content option. The fourth and last option at the bottom down there is workers. Here's where you can go and see all of your workers level, where your workers are at. So that little circle right there with the camp means I have them on nodes. Those are not doing anything. The coffee means they're not doing anything. They're just chilling, relaxing, waiting for some orders. That's intentional right now for this video. Typically, you always want them out either gathering or on nodes, whatever the case may be. All right. Another note while we're in this section is if you click on their avatar and then click the little icon there, little magnifying glass there, you can actually pull up that little character icon for each worker. You can rename them if you want to, and then you can promote them in there as well. If you actually click on a character within your town that is not working, you will actually run to them and you can meet them. All right, so let's talk about the 4 options on the bottom right. The far bottom right option is your camera mode. You can either choose to run through your camp like this, which I don't like, or you can have the little overview so you can see where you're at. The second option allows you to place stuff on the map, wherever you want to place them, so you can drag them out. You can click on them, place them. I have some stuff built up. You can also have the little exclamation point icon, which just tells you what everything is. So if you're like, what is that building? I don't know what that building is. You can, instead of clicking on it, you can just hit that little icon. And then the fourth icon on the top right is for your workers. You can either encourage them or all chat them. If you all chat them, it brings them to your character. To encourage them, it doesn't allow you to carry out the action when all workers are not in the town. So you have to have all your workers back in the town. So that's the 4 options. That's your little HUD menu. Everything else is standard to Black Desert Mobile. Let's talk about workers. Let's go to the worker camp, the pub. You can buy workers from the pub here. The pub does allow you to buy all levels of workers. Starts off from white, green, blue, purple, and yellow legendary. They go from, I think it's 2, they cost 2 contribution, then 3, then 5, then 6, then 8, and 12. I could be off on the 2. It's definitely 2 for the white. The green is 3 or 4. The blue is 5, I believe, I'm pretty sure. And then the pink is, or 6. Either way, it's in that, we'll waste 3 stamina. So the blue's 5. All right, so the blue's 5, so the green's 3 or 4. You can buy your workers from in here. You can see the list of workers you currently have. Right above your list of workers, you can also see how many workers you have to how many you are allowed to have. So I'm allowed to have 23. I only have 19 at the moment. But that is where you buy workers. How do you buy workers? In order to buy workers, you need contribution points. So if you notice, it costs 2, 5, and 8 contribution points. You can see the contribution points up there. It says I have 0 out of 157. You can actually click on that and it'll tell you how to level up your contribution. You can level up your contribution a couple of ways by doing your main storyline quest. If you create an alt and quest them up as well. The pro tip for contribution points, I did get this from one of my subscribers, but the pro tip is to farm your blue repeatable quest at the very first area. You have to kill 20 or 50 mobs, takes about a minute. You get 50 contribution points every time you do that. If you do that for a few hours, I haven't done it, but if you do it for a few hours, you can get max level on your contribution. And every level up on your contribution increases your contribution rate, as you see there, by 8. It does start off at 5, I believe, and then it goes to 8. It might get higher, I'm not sure yet. But that is how you can get more contribution. You need that contribution in order to buy the workers and to level up the workers. Ultimately, you want all yellow workers. Another pro tip while we're in the camp about workers is you want 1 strength worker, you want 1 dexterity worker, and all the rest of your workers you want to have vitality. What do I mean by that? So if you click on one of the workers, this guy has got 38 vitality, 48 strength, and 29 dexterity. As you level him up, his main attribute is always going to stay strength. Let's talk about the purple one. Same scenario. Okay, bad scenario. All right, so here, great. So if I was to level this guy all the way up to legendary, and you can, so you can level a white all the way up to legendary. I don't recommend it, but you could. If I was to level him all the way up to legendary, his vitality would be stronger than his strength and dexterity. So that means he's a vitality worker, so I would pick him over all the rest. I mean, optionally I'm not, but I would pick him because he has more vitality. Why vitality? Strength workers help build your buildings. Dexterity workers help craft your items. Vitality workers do your world gathering. So the higher the vitality of the worker, if you notice when you're selecting a worker here, it says loyalty 100 and vitality 231. 2 tips here. Get all of your workers to loyalty 100. That's the first tip. You can get them to loyalty by 100 by, I'll show you in a second. The second tip here is, you see the second tab there, it says vitality. The higher the vitality means the longer the time it takes to farm those resources. So you see there it says 5 hours and 40 minutes because he's 231. 6 hours and 42 minutes because they're only 77 vitality. So you want to focus on getting most of your workers to have vitality, 1 strength, 1 dexterity. How to get the loyalty leveled up on your workers? You can go to workers. They do have to be home. You can click on one of them. It'll run to them. You can meet them. And then it gives you these options here. You can either talk to them, give them a gift, or encourage. They're already at max loyalty. That's why it doesn't give me the option to encourage them. You can give them a gift. If you have any gift options available in your gift list, you can give them one of them, and it will increase your loyalty with them. I recommend getting max loyalty on all your workers, making sure most of them are vitality, 1 strength, 1 dexterity. All right, so that was a lot. A lot we covered with the workers. I hope you guys understood all that. You want to focus on getting your lodging built up first within your camp. Every level up of the lodge increases your worker slot by 1. You can have a max worker slot of 25 within the game. So focus on getting your lodging up first after your town hall's tier 5. It is expensive to get it to that 3rd slot. It costs 1,100 of each of those wood resources. But I do recommend it because each level up means you're farming more, you're getting more resources, etc., etc. Let's talk about some small things here. Black stones or your refineries where you can go and get black stones. I definitely recommend leveling up. You can also craft black stones here if you want good ones. They do cost resources and food and some time. Again, the higher the person's dexterity, the less time it takes to craft those. So that's why you want at least one person with high dexterity, maybe two if you're going to be crafting some more items. Your ranch, I do recommend having your ranch filled with animals. You can collect these items, which are food items, once you get leveled up to build a ranch. I don't worry about food storage. Your plants, you can plant, make sure you're planting your items as regularly as possible, because you do run out of food. Once you get to a higher level, food isn't as much of an issue. But you can buy seeds in any town if you go to the seed merchant in any town if you are running low on food. I know when I first started, I was running low on food pretty often, so I went there. I bought about 20 of those the most expensive seeds you can get. I went and planted them, and then I was set for food for a while. You got your stable here. This is where you can go and manage your horse. You can equip barding. You can level them up. You can tier them up, all those skills, anything like that. You have your extractor. That's where you can go and disassemble accessories, extract blackstones. I'll have another video about that more in depth. That's a little bit more advanced. This is a beginner's video. Blacksmith, you can go to craft weapons and armor. Your trade shop, you can go to craft trade goods, which you can then turn into merchants or into your collecting for your collecting up here. This bad boy collection. I'm sorry, for your collection. Your trading post is where you can trade resources back and forth. It is the same ratio. So when farming resources, it doesn't matter what resource you farm. They all cost the same amount. They all sell for the same amount, at least for right now. So it doesn't really matter. They all trade for the same ratio. When you go to trade, it's 3 to 1. I believe it's 3 to 1. So it does get a little pricey in there, so you want to make sure you're not trading as much as possible. Alchemy Lab, you can go and craft potions. You can also craft high-grade crystal chest, mid and low-grade crystal chest, just to help you level up your crystals within the game. I got my lodging up here, and then the last thing I have is where you can go in your dye workshop to go craft outfits, pallets, and mixed pallets. You can get to your boss rush and ancient ruins within your camp. I don't ever go there through that way, but you do have that option. I believe that covers everything. You can make silver from this. If you haven't checked out my silver farming guide, the biggest way to make silver is through your dye workshop, through crafting pallets. Go check out my silver making guide. It'll explain it in detail for you guys if you haven't seen that yet. I know a lot of people like to craft blackstones. That's the biggest thing, especially with leveling up gear. So crafting blackstones does take a little bit of time. It does give you 3, but I do know a lot of people craft those blackstones. There is also sometimes items that you can pick up with your camp. Make sure you're grabbing those whenever possible. Make sure you're doing your 2 or 3 quests that you can grab in here every day. Those do help your contribution as well. And then lastly, make your camp look pretty. I mean, hey, mine's not perfect. It's still growing, but it's getting there. That covers everything for the camp. Within Black Desert Mobile, let's talk about the node real quick. So to get to the node, you can actually get to the node by going to your camp content, and you can go to Node Manager. Don't forget. And then you can go to node from your trading post. You can actually see on the node in the top left, it says I can have a total of 8 workers on my node. So I have 8 workers selected for my node because my camp is maxed on level 5. And then you can hit start. And it's going to take me to my node. So the node offers a couple different benefits. It does offer the benefit of getting silver. So when you have workers on nodes, it gives you 25,000 silver a day. I do have 5 nodes taken up, so that's 125,000 silver I make every day from my nodes. You can also get items like the golden plate, which sells for, I believe, 10,000 silver to a merchant. You can, if you're looking to make some silver or gold, what's nice about the node is whatever you want at that time is what you can go for. However, there is sometimes some extra good items. So I currently can have 5 people on nodes. Optimally down the road, you're going to have 6, 7, 8, whatever the case may be, so you can collect more. But sometimes you want to collect like that skill book right there, that HP skill book. It's nice. I'd probably go and collect that. It's worth 200,000 silver on the market. That's a good price. So I could dispatch my workers to that one. Specifically, this one up here is DP. I probably actually like that one better. So I can actually dispatch those 3 workers. It does take 3. I can send those workers. Failed to find path. Give me 1 second. There's a hiccup. This bad boy right here. Hold on 1 second. Start. So this just goes in order. You got to click red, blue, purple, green, green. Hopefully you're not colorblind. And then I can go back there because that path's been... no, there's one right here too. So red, blue, purple, green, blue. Boom. And then you can go back there. Click on the DP one. Boom. Now I'm collecting 3 of those DP books. And remember, DP affects your defense power. Defense power is a 1-to-1 ratio. So every level up of a defense power increases your overall combat power by 1. So you really want to focus on, once you have your farm or your camp leveled up, you want to focus on getting as many workers out here as possible. Every time you're out here working, whether you have people on 5 nodes like I do, you can also have, so I can have 8 total workers. So I have 5 people on nodes, and then you can have 3 people collecting this other stuff underneath at the moment. As my node levels up, I will get more. To level up your node, you just got to come in here. As your workers are on the node, it levels them up. As you do activities in here, every time it levels it up. And then you can collect these little goodies down here as well. I'm not a master with the node manager yet. That is just some basics with the node. If anybody has some additional tips and tricks they want to add, so you can check some stuff out here. So there's another one up there. There's some boss stamps up there. Boss stamps, ancient rune tabs there. Some, what's this? Skill book chest if you want some skill books. What's nice about the node is you can farm whatever you want to farm. So if you want to farm skill books, you can farm skill books. You want to farm boss stamps, you can farm boss stamps. There's boss stamps there. There's boss stamps in just about every one of these. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. That's everything about the nodes. That's some general tips and tricks about the camp. I hope that helps you guys out tremendously. If it does, make sure you smash that like button. Help me out, as well as smashing that subscribe button if you want some additional badass Black Desert Mobile content. With that being said, I wish you guys good luck, and I'll see you out there.